Hi guys, how are you today?
Hi, so good.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for speaking with me. I had the pleasure of checking out the movie. What a fun time. From start to finish, what a fun time. So for both of you, take me back to the beginning. How did you guys become attached to the project?
So for me, it was pretty funny. I'm friends with one of the producers, Billy Rosenberg, and he texted me a copy and paste of the character breakdown. And it said, Blake, like Hans Landa from Inglourious Bastards, if he was an RA, must be genuinely terrifying. And I thought that was
Well,
the funniest idea ever to put that guy in the middle of this movie. So I was hooked immediately, and I came to the table read, met Nick and Brian, and they're the best ever. And yeah, I just feel so lucky to be a part of this thing. It's so amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I read the script and then I met with Nick and Brian, and it was like later in the process, all of these amazing people were already a part of the project, and so I was just really excited to get to kind of join and get to work with everyone. And it's such a fun project with so many very brilliant creative minds behind it. So it was fun, kind of that combination of like really intelligent creative minds and then also kind of this like absurd, ridiculous, material, and getting to like marry those things together was just like a very kind of dynamic, fun experience. So that I was just excited to be a part of.
well, watching all of that unfold on screen, you can just tell how much fun you guys are having. It's the scenes are absolutely insane, but they've happened before. Let's be real here. This is stuff that it's like, hitting a little too close to home, but that's why I think it's so funny. So for you guys, was there a specific scene that you guys just couldn't get through without just laughing the entire time? That you're like, we're never gonna get this shot. I'm so sorry, cast and crew. We're never getting this done.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it took us a very long time to shoot that scene where Sean and Gaten are standing there and talking to me, and their heads are exploding every time they say a bad word. And Sean's like trying to like be cool, and he just like keeps messing up. And he was just like so much of what he was saying, he was just like making up as he went. And so like we were all just like dying laughing trying to get through it, and it took a very long time. But I love that scene. I love the way it turned out. But there was so many jokes that didn't make it in there that were just so funny that everyone was like just having such a good time shooting that part.
I do unfortunately have a very specific answer to this question. So there's a moment in the script where it's written like a poem. And Nick was like, "Yeah, it's like a pirate shanty." And at shanty, I'm like, "Okay, song." And so I prepared a song. And then I came to Nick and I was like, "Hey, I just have a question. Is this good for the song?" And he was like, "Song? That's a poem." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Now it's a song." And so I had to come to set and do this song. And nobody knew I was doing it except Nick and Brian. And so I'm standing on the top of the stairwell, and at the bottom are all the RAs. This is the Grawl Call song. And one of them is Caleb Heron, who's the funniest person ever, and he's staring at me and making faces. And I literally just burst out into song at the top of the stairs, and everyone in the crew is like, "What is going on?" And they were yelling stuff from behind the monitor. They're like, "Falsetto, falsetto," and I would try to do falsetto. I cannot sing, so that was very tough to get through without laughing.
Can't
I
imagine that actually is a poem.
I know, I know.
It was so crazy. I was sitting next to my mom in the screening, and it was at that point when you start singing, and it's like those weird animations. And she was like, "What is this? What did you just, what is this?"
What is happening?
I was like, "I don't know. I didn't know this was gonna happen."
And I think that's what makes this movie so much fun is you're not expecting it. Like you see you come and you're just like, oh, okay, here it comes, here it comes. And then you open your mouth and without that wasn't what I was expecting at all. But it wasn't only your character. Every character in here had that moment. And I think, a testament to Nick and Brian because it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that they let you guys kind of just try whatever you wanted, like improvise a little bit and really find the character.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a beautiful balance because I think you can go too far in either direction. In comedy, you can have too much improv, too little improv. They have such a specific style. Like if you're familiar with Britannic, their YouTube videos, it's so precise. Like the comedy's so carefully scripted that they had a lot of that, but they also let us improv. And then they would do that thing in between where they would just like yell stuff or come over and be like, try this. And so it was a very collaborative, imaginative set. They had the best attitude and created the best possible environment to make a funny movie. They're just the best.
Was there a particular scene that, besides the laughs, that was the most challenging for both of you?
I feel like honestly the biggest challenges for me were laughing and two, the fact that we were shooting everything in the middle of the night. And so there's just like a delirium that comes at about 3 a.m., which was always right when I was getting to set. So I think just working through those two things was the most challenging, but other than that, not really.
I think the most challenging scene for me was the Inglorious Bastards scene where I'm going into the kids' dorm room and looking for weed. I that was the first scene I shot in the whole movie. And I also it was the one I was most worried about because it's I think the most challenging. I mean, you're paying homage to literally one of the greatest performances of all
Yeah.
time, Christoph Waltz. So I could not sleep the night before. I was like, I really hope I don't mess this up. But it was so fun, and it was a great way to kick off the shoot. And they I mean they made it possible. Nick and Brian wrote an amazing script. They were so good at directing me and helping me and rehearsing with me. And Bella Gonzalez, our DP, is just an absolutely brilliant DP. She has such a good sense of visuals and camera and blocking and lighting, and she just kind of they all set me up to be able to do that.
Amazing. So my final question for both of you is, why should people watch the movie? I know why they should watch it, but I
Because
don't
it's
want to give
funny.
Why should they? Um, I mean, I think because I can guarantee you've never seen anything like it, you know? And I think that that is reason enough. You're gonna be surprised. There are so many laughs. There are so many great people in it. So it's just kind of like there's no reason not to.
I totally agree. I think for me, there were these three people that came up to us at the end of one of the screenings. It was two guys and a girl, and they were like, "That's literally us. Those three." And I just thought that was so cool, seeing people relate to the characters, and that's my hope is that college kids or anyone who has been a college kid, or even if you weren't, that you find something that you relate to in these characters and you connect with it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to have any issue connecting with this. I mean, as I said, the second you just started and going through, I was like, oh, I've lived through some of these moments before. And that adds to the funny, that adds to it. So thank you to both of you for speaking with me. I am so excited for everyone to see this. I think they're going to love it just as much as I did.
Oh, thank you so much. So nice to talk to you.